Oh, is my screen not showing? Black screen. Hey! Alright, we're back here, playing more Fallout 4 with my good friend here, American Krogan. How's it going, Krogan?
It's going all right. How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. It looks like, if you talk on the Trovo chat, I'm gonna see that in my main combined chat. It looks like. I'm
On
not sure if I
Restream?
can, like, send it out to everyone, and that doesn't look like it's working, but if you're talking on Twitch, DLive, or Trovo, I'll see you no matter what. Doggy.
Hey, boy. Come on, boy. It's time to go.
Yeah, I like you better than Piper anyway. Piper never said anything.
Yeah, which is weird. Well, I guess they don't say as much as I remember them saying, but they definitely do, like, you'll get that little trigger in the upper right-hand corner. So-and-so disliked or liked what you just did.
Mm-hmm.
We are gamifying your moral decision-making.
Yeah. Okay, reunions. Find way into Fort Hagen. Okay.
Yeah, so
Where is
just,
that?
Okay, I'll tell you.
Oh,
you're,
I'm
you're
in
right
here.
there. Yeah, you're
I
right
found
outside
it.
of it. Like,
Let me
the
in.
entrance is boarded off here, so just, okay. That's not gonna work.
It's like plywood. They're keeping me out with plywood? I've got power armor. Why does plywood
Alright,
defeat
so
power armor?
walk
Oh, zoom
around here to the left. There you go. No, turn around.
to the right?
Turn. Yeah. Well, I said left before when you were looking at a different place. But yeah, walk down this little alleyway.
Okay.
And there will be some scaffolding around the back here that you can walk up. Because we are playing a Bethesda game, and ladders are just not doable.
Yeah.
We have to have scaffolding for everything.
Machine gun turret.
I always found that very, very curious that they never, yeah, there's more scaffolding over here. Scaffolding. I always found that very curious that they never really implemented, like, a workable animation or way to climb up a ladder. I mean, I guess in first person it wouldn't really be that difficult. Like, you don't necessarily even have to have an animation.
No. I mean, like, Half-Life never had an animation.
Right, but the third person, I feel like they didn't want to mess with that.
Yeah.
But to me, it seems like, you could just kind of default to go, like, when you went to go up the ladder, you should just go straight into first person and then pop out of first person.
I'm out of power?
You're out of power.
Is that a story thing, or is that just...
No, that's you somehow ended up using all of your fusion cores. But you
Oh.
had God mode enabled, so I don't get that.
It's still enabled.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why that happened. Turn right. Turn left. Turn left again. Stop walking. Stop walking. Turn left. That's the entrance.
Oh. You just say it's some on the ground. I was looking for a door.
Yeah.
This is like a root cellar hatch. I'd expect to see on the side of someone's house.
Fusion core.
And that's true. Emu makes a good point on DLive. Ladders are not inclusive, right? We're gonna need ramps instead.
So if you want to add more fusion cores to your inventory, here, just do this real quick. Just open up the console and type in player dot add item space, and then the code is 00075 FE4, and then space and however many fusion cores you want to add. They do weigh something though, so.
I got 10.
All right.
That's probably
detected. Curious.
movement
That's good
detected.
enough.
Curious.
An enemy may be utilizing stealth. How interesting.
This is supposed to be, like, very dramatic because it's, like, technically the first time you really encounter the Institute if you played the game through as intended. And so, like, these synths are supposed to be, like, very creepy.
Well, and they attacked me. I didn't even do anything to them.
I am detecting stealth sensor anomaly.
What's with them? Hey, it's Fisto.
Oh, God.
I remember him. They're shooting my dog! You sick bastards. Goddamn Terminators.
It's probably the only still existing purebred German Shepherd in the entire Commonwealth, and they're just gonna make the Boston German Shepherd go extinct. Alright. Yeah, you're going for it anyway.
I go through here?
Yep.
Synth leader? Man, their leader didn't even try and negotiate with me. Get him, boy. Way to go, dog meat.
Yeah, I mean, again, the companions in this are just terrible. Like, they're, like, in the sense that they're worthless. They don't really provide much bonus to your gameplay. Just go in the elevator. There's some stuff around here you can mess with, but it's not worth it. But yeah, like, or you could unchain that door, I guess. Because I think that, yeah, we'll go back in the elevator though. You definitely want to go down the elevator. I'm just thinking that I'm trying to remember where you. Well, actually, you know what? I don't think that even matters.
Guess I'm leaving the dog behind.
Yeah, he'll teleport it inside next to you, I think. Yep, there it.
What's dog? Are you okay? It says danger. Dog meat's in danger. Where the fuck did he go? He's
yeah.
It would appear my
How you doing,
target has disappeared.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah. So now you gotta go down this corridor and kill all the synths and all that good stuff.
They were wise.
What is this? Seen those in Half-Life. What's a tripwire? I thought it was a laser beam. Like a...
Well, it's trip laser. It's a tripwire in the form of a laser.
Yeah. It's like an automatic garage door opener, only it's attached to that thing. Or one of those prevent the door from closing things.
You don't need to go in here. This is pointless. You're just gonna ignore the synth?
What? Oh. Get him,
Just
dog
gonna beat
meat.
your dog.
Look at that. Dog meat does okay. He grabs onto things and just holds them there. And they do nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna still say that he's like severely underpowered and goes down very, very quickly.
Well, yeah. Look at that. That's pretty. Emu says, by not challenging your mortal nature, you are imposing your flesh supremacy on them. Ah. Of course they have every right to violently attack you.
I mean, that sounds funny and all, but, you know, I mean, I think what we'll see as we encounter the railroad, that, like, that kind of mentality is sort of, like, not too far off. I think you need a new weapon after this.
Why?
I mean, I know we're playing on God mode, but, like, just... Oh, we should listen to this. This is important.
So, is it going to stop now that I went through the door?
No. It'll pick up where it left off.
Oh, okay.
Here.
All right. La 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 la.
Hey, listen.
Hey, thanks for the ice cream.
Keep going.
Oh. I thought...
Never expected you to come knocking on my door. Gave you 50-50 odds of making it to Diamond City. After that, figured the Commonwealth would chew you up like jerky.
I love jerky. How do you feel about jerky, Krogan?
I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it old-fashioned. Dry as hell. That's why I don't like the jerky in the store. Like the Jack Links. It's all too sort of moist. What's pretty flavorful and good is, but insanely expensive, is that that like powdered jerky. It looks like chew tins, only it's jerky. Have you had those?
Look, you're pissed off, I get it, I do. But whatever you hope to accomplish in here, it's not gonna go your way.
Wait a second. Kellogg? That's the guy who took my son.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's why you came here.
Well, I know that's why I came here. I just didn't know that this would be the guy right here.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, he's shit-talking you over the intercom.
Well, that seems like a bad move for him. Does he know I have God mode on? Probably shouldn't shit talk me like this.
There's some stuff to explore around here, but I wouldn't really worry about it. Just keep going.
Alrighty.
Wrong way.
Oh, really?
Wrong way. That's a dead end.
Oh. I figured it was going down further or something.
You got guts and determination. It's admirable. But you are in over your head in ways you can't possibly comprehend.
Synth Patroller with a skull next to its name.
I mean, it means technically it's way above your current level.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not too late. Stop. Turn around and leave. You have that option. Not a lot of people can say that.
Well, I'll see you in a second, Kellogg. Oh, it's gotta be
You
this
don't need
way.
to go in there. Yeah, it's gonna be that door.
What are these
Alright.
flags? American flags?
Those are okay, because a lot of people don't know. Well, depends on who you talk to, but after World War II, over time, the United States was split up into various commonwealths, like sort of like super states, super regional states, and so they devised a new flag.
My dog just opened the door.
He did. He's a good dog. What can I
Wow.
say?
Ammo box.
This is all junk. You can just go through the door. This is all pointless.
Well, I figured for sure they would, like, litter this room with all the things that we've been tracking him by, like his cigars and shit, right? Because is this where he's living?
You made it. I'm just up ahead. My sins are standing down. Let's talk.
Well, gosh. Now that you're giving up, I think it's time to murder you, Kellogg. Once I find things out, huh? Nope. Still nothing of his stuff, huh?
There he is. Most resilient man in the Commonwealth. Funny. I thought I had that honor.
All right. Where's my son?
Where is my son? Where is Sean?
Pal, I'm just a puppet like you. My stage is a little bigger, that's all. Sean's a good kid. Bit older than you expected, am I right? But he's doing great. Only, he's not here. He's with the people pulling the strings.
You know, he says a bit older than you expected, but we've had nothing that indicates Sean's age is older than I expect yet.
Well, there's the idea, like there was a insinuation earlier on that Kellogg might have had a son. He had a slightly older boy with him, and so you're thinking, so
Talk.
that's they do insinuate something. It's just easy to miss. Yeah, I've played this game a million times. They do.
I mean, I was
something.
there when I heard that thing, you know, the older kid. But
Yeah,
we had, like, we see the
kind of
way we
insinuate that it could be
explained it.
some other kid.
Yeah, is that he's like serial
Let's,
abducting children, or he has his own
right.
child.
Right.
So his line still doesn't make any sense. Like, why does he think that we know that our kid is older than we expect?
Well, either way, it's very easy to miss. Either way, even if they do have something in here that explicitly states, or not explicitly, but like really insinuates that his
came a
kid is
long
older than he
way.
imagined,
Let's
then
hear
yeah, I hate it when they do that, when they start talking. It's like anyway, yeah, it's very, a lot of these games, a lot of their like main points are very easy to miss, and I feel like that's just like a flaw. Like,
Well,
that's
his line still doesn't make any sense because he has no reason to know of what we've talked about with other people,
So, here we are.
right?
Funny, huh?
So, and Emu makes a good point. This is the man who killed my wife, regardless of where my son is.
God damn it, you mercenary motherfucker. Where is my son?
What's the cliche? So close, but yet so far away? That's Sean. But don't
Wow.
worry.
It's like you're trying to piss me
He'll
off.
die knowing he's safe and happy. A bit older than you expected, but ah well. At least he's in a loving home. The Institute.
All right. How do I get there?
So where is it? Huh? This institute. How do I get there?
Haven't you been paying attention? You don't find the Institute. The Institute finds you. You open the closet, it's just a closet. You can never find the monster that hides inside. Not until it jumps out at you. But I think
just a
we've been
bad
talking
line.
long enough. We both know how this has to end. So, you ready?
Again, what's so funny about these kinds of encounters, it's like you do see that I have a giant Gatling gun and I'm decked out in power armor, and like you have a handgun.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a
and you
higher
have,
caliber
like-
handgun, but
Well, he's got 1/3 or 1/4 or 1/5 the synths in this room that I tore through to get here.
So,
I mean,
here we are. Funny, huh?
I'm going to make you
shoot this guy. Uh-huh. Hello. Oh, he's invisible. What a fucker. I can see him by the blood spatter. Somewhere. Where the hell am I? Is he here? Jeez. Oh, that's my dog. Where the hell did he go? Oh, there he is. God, he is a bullet sponge. How many rounds he's taking? Where the hell is he now? Okay.
you're not hitting him. There you go.
Where the hell
Put
is
a
he?
little crosshairs in the center.
This is really stupid. Who thought this was a good idea?
Oh man,
I'm glad I have God mode on. Imagine having to play this regular. It'd take
I didn't
twice
think it
as
was
long.
that hard when I played it.
Oh,
I didn't play it with God mode on.
yeah. Well,
So-
I wouldn't be having fun if this was real. If this was, oh my God, he's got a lot of shit too.
I would take it all.
Would you?
all this
Yep.
tech. You were barely human.
All right, we get it.
Hey,
Good
how
dog.
you doing, buddy?
All right, Kellogg's Terminal. It's weird that we couldn't mention our dead wife at all. You know, even at the end where I said no mercy, it could have just been like, well, this is for my beautiful life.
Well, I mean,
Dolores.
just thinking
What was her
about
name?
thinking more about what you said. It's like, how would Kellogg know? Well, I guess he does know that. I don't know how he knows that it's your son. I don't remember that, so that's kind of weird.
Probably
Anyway,
just
let's
'cause
go through
I'm-
this log.
Just probably because I'm roaming around the town mentioning that I'm the father. View access logs? Let's search for more information. Discuss make findings with Nix. So the synth? Is that the Nick? Yeah, that's the Nick. He's the synth. Okay. Ugh. You can't press exit to exit out of the fucking thing.
No, you have to push tab. There's a symbol for it down at the bottom.
Yeah. But in every other game, exit works to exit out of menus.
In a lot of Japanese games, it'll like quit you out of the game.
Like what?
I've just couldn't. You're going the wrong way. You
Really?
need to turn around. Yeah. Yeah, I've just encountered like escape will straight. To go back into the hallway and go straight. There's a quest marker on the bottom of your screen.
Oh. Yeah, well, I'm used to not having quest markers for everything. So, like, what games?
Oh, I don't remember anything specific, but I just remember playing a couple Japanese game where the escape button like literally made me go to desktop.
Hmm. I don't think I've... That's not the case in any of the games I know. Oop.
Roof access.
All right. Do I have to use this? Get me out of here. Open door.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VIII does it. For example.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been a long
So
time
now
since I
look up
played
into
that.
the sky. You're supposed to look up in the sky. Yeah. No, that's.
Vertibird.
You're not listening to any of this.
Our intentions are peaceful.
They haven't said anything yet.
Okay.
We are the Brotherhood of Steel.
Are we finally going to
This
learn
is-
about what they're doing and why?
Yeah, but this was supposed to be like a big deal. You're supposed to walk out and like listen to this cinematic sequence, like,
They hardly even
not
said
shoot
anything.
at the. Okay, all right. Well, anyway, now you can listen. We can continue with the Brotherhood of Steel quest line for a little bit, and since it's on the way back, I would just continue with that. I would listen to the radio frequency. Shadow Steel. Yeah, click off of that. Click on Shadow Steel. And go to radio and listen to the military frequency.
Repeating.
Yeah, all right.
This is Paladin Dance on frequency 95.
Oh, it's the guy.
All Brotherhood of Steel units are to return to the Cambridge Police Station immediately for reassignment.
Oh.
Repeating.
That's basically it. So you can turn off the radio signal now because it'll just keep repeating. But yeah, you're supposed to go back to the Cambridge Police Station now. And you can fast travel there, so might as well.
I want to go to Nick, though. Why not do the Nick thing?
I
Does it matter?
mean, this is your stream, so we can do whatever you want. But I thought it would be cool to do some of the Brotherhood of Steel stuff. So just whatever you do, make sure you put on the appropriate quest markers.
Well, I want to do something that sort of makes sense for the character, right? Something that the motivations make sense, and so we might end up with something like a coherent story and see what they present to us as we try and do it. You know what I mean?
Sure, but I mean, I personally don't think this story makes sense. But
Well, I'm trying to get my son back.
I get what you're trying to do. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do that.
It's interesting. He's got the whole part with the arrow through it.
Well, his name's
Hi,
Valentine.
Nikki. I'm just asking for your opinion. It'd be a great quote.
He's my client, Piper. Why don't you learn not to snoop on a man's private affairs?
Yeah.
Well, well, speak of the devil.
You're back. And not with your son. What happened?
So Piper's trying to get in my private affairs?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's what I should be asking him, though. What I can say you were right, but I don't even remember what he'd be right about.
Well, again, these dialogue options are just terrible.
Yeah.
Like, there's a mod where you can actually have them
Get
write
hit
out
in the
exactly
can
what
relate.
it is. Like in the previous games, you get a full readout of what it is you're going to say. But
That'd be nice.
regardless, a lot of these dialogue options really just amount to yes, yes, sarcastic yes, and no, but usually yes anyway.
Yeah.
Where do you want me to start? The part where Kellogg turned out to be working for the Institute? Or the part where he told me they have Sean?
The Institute? Oh, boy.
I'm sorry, friend. Truly. That makes things considerably more complicated.
He ain't kidding. Heck, Nick's a synth, and even he doesn't know how to get in.
No synth does. Security protocols strip those memories out.
I need a way.
I need to find a way.
I've been investigating these creeps for over a year now. The Commonwealth's boogeyman. Feared and hated by everyone.
True enough.
Excuse me.
Sometimes they snatch people in the middle of the night, and sometimes they leave old synths behind to remind us that they're out there. But to this day, there's one thing nobody really knows.
Where the Institute actually is. Or how to get in.
Exactly. But there's one person who has to know, right? The guy who just handed them Sean.
Kellogg. Huh.
Well, he's dead, and I wasn't able to ask questions because dialogue in this game sucks. So
Yeah, well, there's this whole sequence that you're gonna see that addresses that. So
that he's had access.
Man like that would have had access. In and out.
Yeah, but I'm
Even my
guessing he
character
wasn't
believes
the
it.
Surrender and talk type, was he?
He's dead.
He's dead, Nick.
So, a murderer and a kidnapper gets his brains blown out by an avenging parent. Huh. Be a great ending if we didn't still have the biggest mystery in the Commonwealth to solve.
He shot us.
He wasn't gonna talk. Even if I had a way of bringing him alive.
Gets his brains blown out. Huh. His brains. You know, we may not need the man at all.
You're talking crazy here, Nick. Got a fault in the old subroutines?
Look, there's a place in Good Neighbor called the Memory Den. Relive the past moments in your mind as clear as the day they happened.
Oh my
If
God, is this
anyone
Chems?
can get a dead brain to sing, it'll be Dr. Amari, the mind behind the memories.
Oh, that is insane.
There's no way that could ever work.
Stay with me on this. We get a piece of Kellogg's gray matter and take it to Amari. Then we see if she's got the goods to pull this off.
Jesus, Nick. Gross. Seriously?
I know it's grisly, but what choice do we have? We got no leads, nothing. That old Merc's brain just might have all the secrets we need to know.
Okay.
Actually, I think I already have something. Kellogg had this thing attached to his head.
Cybernetics, huh? We may have just won the lottery.
Whether we're riding this crazy brain train or not, we can't all go running across the Commonwealth, so who's coming with you?
I have to go to the memory den either way, if I'm going to introduce you to Amari. But if you want to head there together, just say so.
Okay, sure.
It's you and me, Nick.
Let's get going. Don't worry.
What the?
We're gonna get your boy back.
Oh,
Just a few more steps.
what is he doing?
Well, you two are out. I'm gonna do some more research. I'll be at the public if you need me.
Okay. All right.
she's gonna do some more research, like maybe find out who her paper supplier is.
Yeah. Well, and this is like getting back into this nonsense about like game developers trying to create a coherent world.
Even
Impossible,
good people do
you know?
crazy things when they're scared.
Cause like, okay,
Maybe constantly trying to
so we
kill us,
have
but-
a world now that is so dysfunctional. We live like this. Oh, but now we have cybernetics. And
Yeah, but that's because of the Institute. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to be too autistic about them, but the idea is that they're MIT students who basically burrowed into their institute and burrowed down into the ground and built like this long-lasting society, you know, and like.
how big is it?
It's pretty big.
Oh, okay. So it's like a sustainable population.
Yeah. But of course, there are still distinct black, white, Asian, and you know, they still have all this distinct diversity. There was no ethnogenesis in the 200 plus years they lived underground
Oh, of course not.
for whatever reason.
Big Daddy
I mean,
Matt
and the black
says-
people in the game, I mean, they're not even like mulatto black or whatever. I mean, they're like full-on Nigerian black.
Yeah. Big Daddy Matt says, "Are you winning, son?" Yeah, I think so. I think we're winning, more or less. Are we winning, Krogan?
Not really.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. Are we winning at this game? I mean, we got God mode on.
Yeah.
Are we winning
It's hard to
as a
lose.
country?
Oh, no.
Not really.
Well, I think we
not
all
really.
know
Not
that.
at the moment.
Who's there?
Oh, who's there? Who's Who the hell was that? Oh, that guy.
Doesn't have to be. You're in for it now.
You're in for it now. We can just run from this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're in for it now. How did that guy know that we teleported in?
You can go down that way.
Is it... Can I not do it anywhere else?
You can go down. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Well, actually, yeah, well, yeah, go around here. Go straight and then turn right around this corner. And keep... There you go. There's the entrance. Far right. Blue door.
Oh, okay. Good neighbor. Oh, wow. Big Daddy Matt says, I was asking about the virtual world because that's the only one that matters. I'm not sure if it's the only one that matters, but yeah, I figured you were asking about the virtual world. That reminds me of that clip
I mean,
I
I
had you
did
play.
too. I was just being stupid and silly. All right, so now we're gonna have more bugs.
First time in Good Neighbor? You can't go walking around without insurance.
So what you're saying is that you want to die.
You better back off, or you're the one who's gonna need insurance.
What was that? I couldn't hear over the sound of all that pathetic.
I mean, again, you're fully decked out in power armor.
Or accidents.
In pockets. Hand over everything you got in that power armor.
Accidents.
Whoa, time out. Nick Valentine makes a rare visit to town, and you're hassling his friend here with that extortion crap? Good to see you again, Nick.
Hancock?
What do you care? He ain't one of us.
No love for your mayor, Finn? I said let him go.
You soft, Hancock.
What if I kill this guy right
Keep
now?
letting outsiders walk all over us. One day, there'll be a new man.
Come on, man. This is me we're talking about. Let me tell you something.
Oh. I wanted to kill him.
Have to go and say that, huh? Breaking my heart over here. You all right, brother?
So, this guy's a ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
You're a ghoul?
That's right. Like my face. I think it gives me a sexy King of the Zombies kind of look. Big hit with the ladies. Listen, a lot of walking rad freaks like me around here. So you might want to keep those kinds of questions on the low burner next time. Good neighbors of the people, for the people. You feel me? Everyone's welcome.
Oh, wow. Of the people, for the people, everyone's welcome.
That's what
Wearing
I'm
a
saying.
tricorn
If you
hat.
Right, and if you notice that the guy he just killed, he was just like, you're letting outsiders walk all over us, and that's one of the reasons why he got killed. This guy, Hancock, decided to kill him.
Can't help staring, huh?
Sounds like anarchy.
The best kind of anarchy. Embrace it, and maybe one day you'll call this little slice of chaos home. So long as you remember who's in charge.
So we have the colonial American freedom-loving ghoul who wants everyone to be able to come in. All right. Well, we're subversive today, boys.
You want to talk to the go here and talk to the robot. Yeah.
Oh,
the Assaultron.
I'm not buying that. Come in peace, malarkey.
Does she have a chest?
Now that
Yeah.
is some armor.
Wow.
Check out those hydraulics.
Hello. Everything here is guaranteed to injure, maim, or kill at your discretion. Except
What the?
me.
Stop pushing me
only
around.
kill when I want to.
What are you?
What are you?
I'm a woman, baby. Can't you tell?
Wow. This is interesting.
Oh, of course you are. It's just all those metal plates. You're a
Of course you
robot, right? A very womanly robot?
Was that a pickup line? I've heard better. Now, are you buying anything?
I don't have much to say about that other than it's...
I don't need anything.
Disappointed?
I don't need anything. All right.
Well, I mean, the only thing to say is, like, she asserts... Okay. The robot asserts her womanhood. And our character, by default, accepts it.
Turn around. Go talk to the other store or shopkeeper on the other side of this wall. Turn left. Yeah. There we go.
New face walks
Oh,
in my store.
another
And you're not even screaming yet.
woman.
Sure. You let me know if anything catches your fancy.
Screaming? I suppose that's the ghoul.
Did you say something about people screaming at you?
That's right. Some newcomers have never seen a ghoul before. can't handle a friendly face, I say. So you need some supplies?
What's it
I'd
like,
push the ghoul thing, yeah.
being a ghoul?
Well, it's a lot worse when people always ask you about it all the time.
We're so oppressed.
Guess I can't blame them.
You brought it up,
On
bitch.
the upside, I look pretty good for being over 220 years old. Now, were you buying anything?
You're my age.
Wait, you're 220 years old?
Okay. It's more like 270 years. But don't go blabbing that to everyone. Being a ghoul means you live a long time. You stop counting birthdays.
Clearly, you're still
Do
counting.
you know what it's like being that old?
Yes?
Actually, I do.
Well, now you're just making fun of me. If you were as old as I was, you would have been around since before the war. So let's hear it. Come on. Tell me what the world was like before the war if you're so ancient.
It was...
You first. I want to hear what she has to say. I've never listened to this.
What do you remember?
Oh no, that's cheating. You first.
Oh, fuck that.
I had a beautiful
whatever.
house, white picket fence, and a lawn with the greenest grass you'd ever seen. It was peaceful.
It was, wasn't it? Sorry. Last thing you want to see is an old lady tearing up. Well, you're either the most well-preserved ghoul I've ever seen, or you're the second best bullshitter and good neighbor. Ah!
She laughs and her mouth doesn't move. I'm not bullshitting you.
I'm not bullshitting.
You know, if you haven't already, you should check out the Hotel Rexford. There's another pre-war ghoul hanging around there. Well, we should get back to business. What are you picking up?
So yeah, I mean, I just wanted you to see how they kind of constantly throughout this game. There's other instances where they do this. They push the ghouls are people too, and everybody's just prejudiced and racist toward the ghouls. And you know, you should just. I mean, if they keep going with this, they'll probably have inter-ghoul human relationships at some point. You know what I mean? And like, if you don't want to romance the ghouls, you're a bigot.
Yeah, well, they're gonna have ghoul relationships. Yeah. You get to romance the ghouls.
Welcome home.
So, well, it's interesting to me that you have two female shopkeepers. Neither which are really reproductive in a minimal sense. You know, it's like stretching the definition of female in both cases. But especially the first one.
Now, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff in my time, but a flying ship, yowza.
Yowza. But yeah, it's, you know, when you constantly portray these, like, significantly different entities, organisms, people.
You're gonna start dialogue when you go in here, by the way.
Yeah. As, like, not meaningfully different than you, it's a signaling thing. Cigarette machine. Oh,
Hey,
I stole.
You trying to get us in trouble?
Where are you? Did he beat me in here?
Well.
Yep.
Mr. Valentine, I thought you had forgotten about little old me.
May have walked out of the den, Irma, but I'd never walk out on you.
Wow.
Amari's downstairs.
Are they romancing?
Flirt.
I don't know. They do insinuate flirtation, or they are flirting there. I mean, I don't know. I don't think anything. I don't think you ever really know. I don't think there's anything that really tells you definitively whether or not they had a thing, but it sounds like they did.
Josie says, Happy Chinese New Year. Is that today? It's the year of the ox now, I believe.
Yes. I take it this isn't a social call.
Oh, good.
Here is the Indian Brahmin with the Indian Brahmin accent. Because it's almost 300 years later, and she's going to have an accent and be Indian Brahmin still.
Yeah. Well, and she's a genius, I'm sure.
She's a genius.
You're the one who can extract memories from a brain, right?
Normally, we only allow our clients to experience their own memories.
Now what's this all about?
We need a deep dig, Amari, but it's not gonna be easy. The perp, Kellogg, is already cold on the floor.
Are you two mad? Putting aside the fact that you're asking me to defile a corpse, you don't realize that the memory simulators require intact, living brains to function.
Now, this brain analyzer thing, who developed this and when?
They don't tell you that.
Because this has got to be
remember.
post-war, right?
I don't remember. I don't remember, to be honest. It's possible that it might not be.
Or not?
Well, either way, the fact is, if we can't keep functional buildings, standing, the fact that we can keep this machine functioning again is like, leads to an incoherent world.
Well, there's plenty of incoherency and inconsistency in this.
What?
Like, for example, like that guy Kellogg that you killed, he is pretty friggin' old. If you remember, well, I'm gonna spoil it here, but basically, you find out later that your son is actually 60 years old at this point, and he's running the institute. And so that makes Kellogg not. He basically hasn't aged since he stole your son. And so they have this technology to basically stop people from aging, yet your son's super fucking old looking, and he dies of cancer. So it's just like, and that's on top of the fact that they have what's called the molecular relay that basically does what it sounds like it does. It demolecularizes people and reassembles them elsewhere. So it's just like they can dismantle organic beings down to the molecular level and then reassemble them. You would think that they could deal with cancer.
Yeah. Sorry for anyone who didn't want to get spoiled, but Krogan can't help himself. I think we have a really good example right here, although we're zoomed in now for some reason. Once we look at her again, on one side we're going to see a device to analyze human brains and pull out memories, and we're indoors, right? So, of course, to see indoors, what we use alongside our brain analyzers
Were you going to say something?
is an oil lamp, right? We use oil lamps to see indoors when we use our brain analyzers.
Please.
Right.
Nick told me you're the only one who can make this work.
This dead brain had inside knowledge of the Institute, Amari. The biggest scientific secret of the Commonwealth. You need this, and so do we.
Fine. I'll take a look. But no guarantees.
I'm Indian Brahmin,
have it
but
with
I can't guarantee miracles.
There you go.
Here's what I could find.
What's this? This isn't a brain. This is... Wait. That's the
It's a piece of
hippocampus.
shrimp.
Thing attached to it? A neural interface?
Yum, 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 yum.
Those circuits look awfully familiar.
I'm not surprised. From what
You're
I've
full
seen,
of them.
all Institute technology has a similar architecture.
So yeah, I think that I think that you and I can be a little overcritical of some games, and I'm all about suspending disbelief, but I definitely lean toward your criticism insofar that this game is concerned, because there's just too many instances in which you're asked to suspend disbelief. It's like over and over and over again. But then again, the fact of the matter is most people probably don't think about the same stuff that you're thinking about here. They just don't.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying it just to point out that they goofed it up or something. This lays this sort of reveals an underlying understanding of how societies work and the motivation to keep society going. Like, they think that you can have crumbling buildings and people just shooting each other in the street, but the lady who runs the newspaper will still be able to get paper made for her paper.
Right.
And that's not true. These people don't give adequate credence and sort of intellectual curiosity to
this
what
ties
keeps
into
a society going. And if they started to do that, guess what? They would start to see how ethnic things start to lead into that, and
right. I mean, this ties into like the demographic replacement of ethnic. I'm always talking about this, but once again, I'm going to bring it up. The demographic replacement of the ethnic French will have severe consequences if it transpires over the next 100 years, and that's because they have 69 nuclear power plants. And you know, these type of people who wrote this story, excuse me, shut up, woman. These people who wrote this story, they don't ever consider that. It's always like everything's just going to continue functioning.
Yeah, they take it for granted.
Any kind of change that occurs will be like cosmetic. And a lot of people who wrote this feel like they look at this world as a big cosmetic canvas. You know, it's just like this stuff looks cool. Look at these dials and knobs. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are still impressive feats that this developmental studio achieved here. I mean, like some of this stuff is cool looking, you know, and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. Like so many people today just take everything for granted and assume that. All right, I guess we'll move on. 'Cause she's just insisting.
Nick's an older model synth. Is he compatible?
That's exactly what I was thinking. If we are lucky, it should hook right in.
That or he'll turn into a kidnapping murderer.
Mr.
What if he becomes
Valentine will
Kellogg?
be taking on a tremendous amount of risk. We're talking about wiring something to his brain.
Don't
Why is
worry
she
about
quiet
me,
all of a
Amari.
sudden?
Let's do it.
All these people are quiet.
I appreciate
They're not quiet for me.
Thank me when we found your son.
Well, I think it's because my
All right,
furnace kicked on.
let's do this.
And there's a vent right next to me.
Just sit down.
If I start cackling like an old...
Oh, you're gonna have to get out of your power armor.
Pull me out, okay?
To do what? Isn't she
You're
gonna do
have
the
to
thing?
get in. Yeah, but you're gonna have to get in there in a minute.
What?
I need you to keep talking to me, Mr. Valentine. Any slight change in your cognitive functions could be good. Are you feeling any different?
There's a lot of flashes. Static. I can't make sense of any of it, Doc.
That's what I was afraid of. The mnemonic impressions are encoded.
For a human
Appears
brain.
The Institute has one last failsafe. There's a lock on the memories in the implant.
Okay.
Tell me you have a way past this, Doctor.
Let me think. The encryption is too strong for a single mind. But what if we use two?
Yeah, yours.
We load both you and Mr. Valentine into the memory loungers. Run your cognitive functions in parallel. He'll act as a host, while your consciousness drives through whatever memories we can find.
Yeah, because me and Nick, I'm sure, would go in parallel computation mode. Just super simple. You know, him being a fucking robot.
Next, we'll just, you know, don't worry. We'll just turn up the oil on the oil lamp there, and it'll just work out.
All right, let's get in this stupid thing, this dirty chair.
And you need a monitor to see inside of your brain.
Weird. So is it actually going to put stuff from our brain on the monitor instead of us just thinking it?
Mnemonic activity coming from the transplant. It's degenerated, but
it's just kind of weird.
We're going to load you into the strongest memories we can find. They might not be stable. Just hold on.
Are we going to see my wife get killed again? All right. So far, so good.
Can you hear me? Ah, good. The simulation appears to be working, although the memories are quite
Am I looking at neurons directly?
I'll try to step you through the intact memories and hope we find one that gives us some clue to the Institute's location.
Okay.
There.
Oh.
This is the earliest intact memory I can find.
So I'm going down my own neurons?
No, I think you're going down his.
Whose?
Kellogg's.
But aren't we analyzing a computer chip?
Who knows?
You are experiencing
it did look like there was some organic matter attached to the chip, so.
Dad was either drunk or not around. I guess he must have run with one of the raider gangs, but I never really knew what he did.
So, am I supposed to feel bad for Kellogg now?
I was such a dummy back then. What did I know about how the world worked? I think now she wanted me to kill him. I should have. Instead, I ended up running away. I told myself I wanted to find somewhere out from under the thumb of the NCR and all their rules. But really, I was running from the guilt of not protecting her from Dad. Yeah, it doesn't matter now, though.
Okay, can I just leave? Or is there something I gotta do here?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can keep going.
Okay.
I mean, you can walk past all of this, but I figured maybe you'd want to comment on some of it.
Well, is he gonna say anything meaningful?
Intact memory close to you in temple.
Talk about his mom.
Mom knew how it was.
There.
Oh God.
She wasn't soft,
Try
but she loved me in her way.
Yeah, you're just all over the place, triggering everything.
She protected me from Dad. That cost her more than a few beatings. I never knew what happened to her after I left. I didn't want to know. Not then.
Interesting.
What a joke.
What's it mean, Mom?
Nothing, Connie. People like to talk and hope someone else is going to keep them safe.
Teacher at school said the NCR would bring back the good old days. Like before the big war.
Don't you listen to that twaddle. I'm going to stop singing you if that's what they're teaching you.
I'm going out. Where the fuck did you put my boots?
Listen to me, Connie. You take this. You're old enough. You're the man of the family now. It's your job to protect us. Your father's useless, but you won't turn out like him. You're a good boy. And all that on the radio. All useless talk. The only thing that will protect you in this world is that gun in your hands. You need to learn to use it if you're going to survive.
What the?
I will, Mom. I promise.
He's gonna kill us.
I won't let you down.
He doesn't know you're there.
Good boy.
That was weird. This whole
I thought
thing
it was
is weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a whole lot of ways you could break that down. But one thing that comes to mind immediately is like how it's so odd that this scene here could just be pre-war. Like, there really aren't any substantial social changes. Like, you still got this nuclear family unit here still, and you still got the cliche of the abusive husband and the battered wife, and so like, I don't know. It's very weird. There's also like.
Nothing.
Well, I don't know. Did you have anything to say about it?
Someone else is
It just the writing is embarrassing. I mean, do they think this is how this dynamic works between a mom who's trying to protect her son from his father? Like, that she then turns around and says, "You're the man in the house," and hands him a revolver? This is how they imagine that relationship, where she's probably feeling hyper protective of him, but instead they're writing it as she's thrusting the protection of the family onto him instead. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of like snippets from like other movies and other ideas, like the overbearing mother who's kind of like evil. I don't know. Like I'm should have thought about this prior. I feel like I could have broken this down a lot better. Anyway, let's continue and listen to this.
I feel like they could have gotten someone who maybe lived in that situation, particularly the woman, and I don't know.
Well, I get the idea that they're trying to explain why Kellogg ended up bad or whatever, but it's just like, it's just not a very believable
Yeah,
story.
well, and it's like just the whole, it was common for the Gen X people to get stories like that, like the belief that you are the way you are because of the way you were raised. Like, lots of movies were like, oh, Billy's got a terrible Bill has a terrible fear of water, and the flashback to when young Billy got pushed in the lake, right? You know, all your fears, all your deepest feelings, those are all because of just your upbringing, right? That was very, very common for Gen Xers to grow up with that. Academic Agent actually talks about that in his Boomer Truth series, and it's pretty good.
Yeah. writer wasn't a boomer, I don't think, but they were. Well, they might have been.
They probably were Gen
I
X.
It's gonna be fine.
But that's who was
No, I
raised
think
with
they
this.
were a little older than that. I don't think
But
that
we
they
don't
were
know
Gen X.
anybody here.
You think they were
And now,
boomers?
with the
You think they were baby boomers
Come on,
writing this?
Sarah, you've got to give it a chance.
It's probably Gen X.
I finally got steady work with a good
Look it
outfit.
up.
Nothing like that in the NCR these days.
No, I'm not saying this was a mistake. I'm just...
Emil Pagliaro.
Are you sure these guys know what they're doing? They seem kind of green.
I know, but that's where I come in. Just wait. In a few years, I'll be running my own crew. As soon as I make the connections I need. Then I can give you
I don't
anything
gotta.
you want.
Yeah, he's older than us.
Who?
He's older than me.
Never worried about you
The writer.
How old?
Must be my mama instincts.
I don't have a date of
Anyway,
birth here,
those,
but looking
huh?
at pictures of him online,
You're great with her.
he's got to
And you don't need to
be
worry about
mid to
me.
late 40s,
Most of
maybe.
it's just
That's Gen X.
running security for the sheep. A lot of standing around looking tough.
Well, they sure picked the right person for that job.
Listen, it's gonna be great here. See this? This is what's gonna keep you and Mary safe. I promise.
I know, Connie. I'm sure we're gonna be really happy here.
We are. You'll see. That's okay. I got it.
Well, and this is like, this even reinforces what I was just talking about. It's like, you know, he was raised that way, you know, his mom gave him this gun and told him things, and now he's showing it to his girl, and, you know, he's enacting the stuff he learned as a child, right? This is full of that Boomer Truth Gen X series stuff. And the Boomer Truth series covers multiple generations and the things that happened to him. Emu
I'm not
says
seeing a
that...
date of birth, but he does, I would say he's late 40s.
Yeah, that's Gen X. Emu says it's because the writer was too busy coding the inclusive ramps into the game.
That made me chuckle, but I don't think the ramps were supposed to be inclusive. It's just like they couldn't make ladders, but I mean,
Right.
it is funny to
You
think of it
thought
like
you
that.
could just fuck with us, and we wouldn't fuck with you? Just so you know, they died like dogs. And you weren't there to help them.
Wow. They're just kicking a steel door like that.
I found another memory to try. I'll connect you.
Yeah, I mean,
She
I
sounds
kinda
like a
do agree-
telephone operator. I found another
Yeah.
memory. I will connect you.
Yeah, I will connect you now.
Please hold.
Going to connect you.
Yeah.
Going to find you another connection. All right.
Mind if we sit down?
Suit yourself.
Scarce.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So, I hear you'll take care of people's problems. Is that right?
Well, I've
If
been
you
having
pay me.
diarrhea.
Oh, we'll pay you. And you'll do this all by yourself?
That's right.
We pay you when the job is done. Is that okay?
That's the way you want to do it? So who do you want dead?
Well, it's like this. There's his family. Lives down the creek a ways.
Well, we seem to be getting closer.
Oh.
Try this next one.
So someone contracted him to kill a whole family? Now he's
Yeah.
just killing families now?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're just trying to build up the whole idea of like, oh, bad things happened to him and he was wronged, and then that's why bad people do bad things, because other people wronged them.
Yeah, that's
You know.
bullshit.
Mr. Kellogg, I'm glad you decided to meet with me.
So, you're with the Institute. I wanted to see for myself if you really existed.
We do, as you can see.
What do you want?
It's come to my attention that you've been rather disruptive of our operations lately. This must stop.
I do what people pay me to do. If that's a problem for you, I could see only one way out.
And what's that, Mr. Kellogg?
You gotta pay him.
If I'm working for you, there's no more problem. From what I hear, you can afford me.
I don't think you fully understand the situation you're in.
I think I do.
Very well. B748. Initiate.
Now kill her.
Impressive. We may have something to talk about after all.
Getting warmer.
Yeah, what I hate about that is just like, you know, you see that a lot in like movies with AI or films or books or with AI. It's just like there's always some guy who like can beat the machine, and it's like these machines would be like hyper advanced. They would have hyper advanced aiming. Like he'd be dead. Like, you know what I mean? Like they could. I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, like they would just snap aim. They would be like, I mean, people can't beat an aimbot in modern video games. I don't know what, you know, I don't know what people think. I don't know. It's just very.
Yeah. History and Truth says people do bad things because they can. Well, lots of us have had opportunity to do bad things that we haven't done.
And we don't.
Right? People who do bad things have a character that leads them to do bad things to some degree, right? And I have a video on criminality that I basically argue that.
Manual override initiated.
Yeah, this is what drives me nuts. It's like a lot of people will act like everybody would do what a hedge fund manager would do if they could just do it. But that's not true. I mean, I think most Americans wouldn't behave that way. And the reason why there's this group of people who can kind of control the economy in ways that they do is that most people aren't trying to do what they're trying to do. Most people are kind of, I don't want to say sheep-like, but I mean, that's how a lot of people would phrase it.
Open it.
History and Truth says, I meant the oligarchs. Well, I mean, again, it's their character.
Is it over? Are we okay?
Almost. Everything's going to be fine.
Come here.
So this is what I asked.
No.
Turns out
I've got
I was exactly right. They were going to make me watch my wife die again.
I'm not giving you Sean!
God damn it. Get the kid out of here and let's go. At least we still have the backup.
Cryogenic sequence reinitialized.
What's the holdup? I'm almost finished, Kellogg. I just need to confirm. Come on. All right, we're good.
I'm sorry you had to go through that again. I found another intact memory. Whenever you're ready.
History and Truth says, we allow them to do it. I would say it's genetic among a lot of them. He's talking about the oligarchs. And
yeah, Dutton's talked about this to some extent, and I think he's right insofar that you get certain hereditary bloodlines, you know, of the oligarchs, and like after a certain amount of time, like not only is there a kind of genetic selection going on, but that they're also genetically separated from the masses, so they feel a bit of a disconnect ethnically from the masses. But I would say on top of that, throughout European history, you know, we've had this via various selection pressures. We've had this tendency to trend toward individualism. And in any given evolutionary setting, you're going to have outliers. And so in a group of people who, for whatever evolutionary reason, trend toward individualism, you're going to have some extreme outliers in that pool of individualists. You know, most of us have some sense of collectivism and some sense of tribal identity, but it's not as strong as it is in other groups of peoples. And within our group of peoples, we have some peoples who are more collectivist than most of us are. We have some people who are even less collectivist than we are. And so I would argue that the oligarchs are probably at the extreme end of hyper-individualism. And so you have groups like the Jews and the Indian Brahmins and other very collectivist groups who come in, and they're very, very, very collectivist. And so they can easily kind of take advantage of those high IQ, hyper individual outliers because those outliers don't really have a sense of they don't have a sense of obligation to the community, like the Indian Brahmin and Jews and other groups do. And so those individuals will see the kind of power that a collectivist minority can wield in an individualist society, and they'll kind of attach themselves to that in some kind of political or economic sense because it's good for them, the individual, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, in History and Truth, when you say we allow them to do it, I don't like that phrasing because I think it leads people to a sort of a false view. Like, if your average person understood some of this stuff, they would hate it, and they wouldn't allow it. It's just a lot of us are ignorant of it. You see what I'm saying? So I don't like this idea where you take us and the average people and you say that we're responsible, because I genuinely don't believe we are. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't like that statement, that phrasing, because that comes up all the time. I'm not picking up on you.
Is that your son? This appears to be a very recent memory, so good news, I think.
Yeah, a lot. And MWRL says Mark College stream tonight. They had a really good discussion about individualism and community-focused traits. He says he really enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, not to harp on this too much, but I think a lot of people who are into the JQ,
one of these days
and
you're gonna get your head blown off just barging in here.
This guy's talking.
Minimizing my exposure to civilians is a priority.
Forget I said anything. So what's the big crisis this time?
New orders for you. One of our scientists has left the Institute.
Left? As in?
He's gone rogue. Name's Dr. Brian Virgil. We know he's hiding somewhere in the glowing sea. Here's his file.
Brian Virgil. I have a feeling we're going to talk about this guy more.
Some heads are going to roll for this. Capture and return, or just elimination?
Elimination. He was working on a highly classified program.
No kidding. One of the top bioscience boys? Damn. So, I guess you're taking the kid back with you.
Affirmative. Your only mission is to locate and eliminate Virgil.
You're taking me home to my father?
Yes. Stand next to me and hold still.
Okay.
Wow. Obedient. It's looking older than a baby.
So you're playing this thinking that this has to be your son.
You're just going to spoil everything, aren't you?
Well, I think I might as well, because this is a commentary on what's going on. This isn't about enjoying or seeing how things unfold. It's about like what they're signaling at various points.
Bye.
I mean, I don't think you need to go through this not knowing what's going to happen, right?
Now it all makes sense. Nobody's found the entrance to the Institute because there is no entrance. Let me pull you out of there as soon as you're ready.
I'm ready. Oh, I have to use the screen to see the screen in front of me.
Slow movements, okay? I don't know what kind of side effects the procedure might have had. No one's ever done this before. How do you feel?
I feel like I'm about to shoot this place up.
All right, that's kind of weird, but...
I was going to pull out my minigun there, but now I'm in the thing. Fine.
I'm okay, Doctor. Thank you.
That's good, but I want you to keep monitoring yourself. We have to be sure there's no long-term damage. Are you ready to talk about what happened in there?
I just felt like it would be funny if, like, she's like, oh, we might have side effects. Please stay calm. Then I immediately jumped in the power armor and pulled out the minigun, you know? Teleportation. Oh, Virgil.
There's more than one person who knows about the Institute. Virgil, that scientist who escaped.
I didn't know Institute scientists could defect. This changes everything. He could answer all sorts of questions. Where did the memory say he was? The glowing sea? That can't be right. No one would risk going there. Not even to hide.
Glowing? So is it irradiated?
Yeah.
I'll find
If
him.
we need to find Virgil, then I'm going after him.
If you're going to go, be prepared. You'll need some way to combat the radiation there. It's called the glowing sea for a reason.
I have God mode on. Don't worry.
I'll find a way to get through the rads. Don't worry.
Good luck. And be safe. By the way, I unplugged Mr. Valentine first. Removed the implant while you were waking up. He's waiting for you upstairs.
Oh, he just got up and left. Okay.
So what I was going to say before is that a lot of guys talk... A lot of my guys don't want to accept that Europeans have, on average, lower levels of ethnocentrism than other groups. And let me finish this before you start talking to him. And they all insist that, like, and it's kind of weird because they want to ascribe everything that's happened post World War II to mediatic output, and I think that had a very, very, very large role. But it's that mediatic output wouldn't have had the same exact effect on every population in the world. I mean, this is about aggregate group differences and what happens when different groups meet and interact. It's not, and again, it's not that white Europeans have no sense of ethnocentrism and never were tribal or anything like that. It's just that on the average, they have less in-group preference than other. Well, that's not even. I mean, that's.
Well, they might have a sufficient amount if the mediatic output wasn't there. But are we good to talk to this guy?
Yeah, sure.
Killer Clown, how's it going? Killer Clown's on Twitch.
Hey, Valentine.
Hope you got what you were looking for inside my head.
Is that his normal voice?
I was right. I should have killed you when you were on ice.
He sounds like he's talking inside my own head rather than, like, across the room.
Nick, are you still in there?
What? What are you talking about?
Whoa.
You sounded like Kellogg just then.
Did I? Huh. Amari said there might be some mnemonic impressions left over. Anyway, I feel fine, so let's get going.
This is what I suggested when they first plugged him in.
Right.
He was going to become a murderer.
Right. Well, they never go with this again. That's the only instance where they hint at it, and they never explore it ever again. So it's
We have to head into the glowing sea. Any advice?
Well, I'm a synth, so radiation isn't much of an issue for me. But that suit of power armor you've got on might be the guardian angel you're looking for. That, or you could buy up all the Rad-X and Rad-Away you can find from any chem dealer who's got it in stock.
Yeah, I'll take you.
Let's get going, Nick.
Been one heck of a ride so far. Let's see where it takes us next.
Okay.
But yeah, Europeans are very we have kind of like a moral universalist tendency, and these other groups are much more particularist. So it's just like these are the reasons why we came up with like meritocracy and minority rights and these other things that you really don't see a whole lot of in other societies.
Hey, Daisy.
Oh,
how's my favorite?
there's a little cinematic sequence you can plug into here if you feel like it.
He wishes.
I just click on any of the characters.
What was I saying? Oh, that's right.
Hancock's
What
making a
matters.
speech.
We freaks gotta stick together. And the best way to stick together is to keep an eye out for what drives us apart. You feel me?
Yeah, you tell it like it is, Hancock.
Now, what out there in our big, friendly Commonwealth would want to drive us apart? What kind of twisted, unneighborly boogeyman would want to hurt our peaceful community?
The Institute and their synths.
That's right. Who said that? Coming up to my office later. You've earned yourself some jet. The
What?
Institute.
He's giving out
They're
drugs?
the real enemy. Not the Raiders. Not the super mutants. Not even those tools over in Diamond City.
I don't know, Hancock. I'd sure love to give McDonough a kick in the ass.
Hey, We all know I got my own personal beef with that lardhead. Let's stay focused. Now, I want everyone to keep the Institute in mind. When someone starts acting funny. When people are doing things they don't normally do. When family starts pushing you away for no reason. We all know who's behind that kind of shit. And the only way to stop it is to stick together. They can't control us if we're not afraid. Now, who's scared of the Institute?
Not us!
And which town in the Commonwealth should the Institute not fuck with?
Good neighbor!
And who's in charge of good neighbor?
Hancock! Of the people, for the people!
Of the people.
Sir?
This is one of the few places in the
It's weird that
Commonwealth
that we immediately go from who's in charge, him, and it's of the people. Weird. But it's also interesting that they're talking about being united, and of course they are invoking an outside enemy, right? Which helps unite people, especially people who are different. The more different people are, the more an outside, like the less they can be united by, like, shared traits.
The more substantially foreign the enemy has to be.
Yeah. But then they're talking about, like, oh, and be out, and, you know, people could be replaced with synths, which is a really great way to invoke witch hunts and, like, drive people apart, like, significantly, as witch hunts tend to do.
Well, I mean, this is like a real multi-culty, lovey-dovey kind of community, and it's like, look, the one guy who had a problem, they killed him.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's like, oh, you don't let too many outsiders in, no, we're going to kill you. But also, be afraid of the Institute. But everyone's welcome here.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to be terrified of this Institute who is replacing all of our citizens, but we're going to let anybody who wants to come in, come in. We're not going to be suspicious of outsiders at all. It's like, all I can think of is that, like, in the Terminator franchise or IP, you know, there's that scene of the hunter killer who pretends to be human, and so they let him into the underground base. This is in the first Terminator, and he starts killing everybody, and he got in the door because he looked human. And so it's just like, you know, you can't, in a situation like that, you couldn't let everybody in. You would have to have some kind of criteria. You'd have to have some kind of checklist. You would have to scrutinize people and whatnot, or you'd risk having your entire settlement wiped out.
Yeah.
So I mean,
go over there, huh?
yeah, you got to go all the way over there. Yeah, you might as well do that. Well, hopefully we'll go into Diamond City during the daytime here, because there is some really, like, weird. Remember, I told you there's that scene. If the school teacher ends up marrying the robotic assistant at the school, so we might as well. Like, what I hate about this game too is, like, as opposed to the previous games, you could wait standing up in any of the previous games, but in this game you have to sit down to wait.
Oh.
So if you want to wait, you're gonna have to get out of your power suit. You're gonna have to sit on the bench. Yeah, but only if you get out of your power armor. So let's see what time it is when you wait.
I don't think I can sit down.
Okay, well, there's another. Just look for another chair around here. Turn around. There.
Okay, so maybe till...
There you go.
11
That's
a.m.?
probably good. Yeah. Right now...
A new file to open. Do you have a legitimate medical concern? Or is this about our facial
ignore him.
services?
So where do you want me to go?
Paper, right?
Go to your right.
Years old. Looking pretty good for your age.
Straight. Huh? Turn left. And go into the schoolhouse.
What about this thing? Oh,
no.
Not doing anything. Can't talk to it.
Time for a pop quiz, everyone.
Aww.
Go upstairs.
We had a pop quiz yesterday.
And we've learned a lot since then,
You're tall.
so we're going to reinforce that knowledge with
I can't sit down.
Quiz.
But I'm tired.
I'm detecting a high degree of fatigue in all our little scholars. Perhaps the quiz can wait?
All right, you guys win. We'll do the quiz later.
Yes! Yay! Ah, a new scholar come to join us. Let's test your math skills. What is 12 times 15?
Okay, let's see the sarcastic one.
It's the square root of... Who gives a crap?
Oh, that was awful.
Watch your language around the little ones. I see your parents did not raise you to respect your education. Family. It is important, yes? This thing called love, I hear the children talk about. I think they need that to learn.
What would a robot know about love?
I don't know, actually. I have one more question before you leave. It's not another quiz. I don't get to talk to many adults. This love I hear about, do you think you can have it for someone, even if the two of you are very, very different?
You know where this is going.
Don't bother.
Everything you love will just get taken away
Oh.
from you in the end.
It isn't worth it then. I see. Thank you. I think this will help me make up my mind about the problem I've been having.
Oh, that's interesting.
I want to talk to you about your essay on the history of Diamond City.
So
I'm really sorry it was late. It's just my cat was
none
sick.
of the options that I was
And
given,
Everett stole my pencil.
I was able
and-
to suggest that
did a good job.
differences could prohibit or be a problem for love.
My dad says outside.
Yeah,
That-
or that you might
I guess
want
you're
to
from one of them.
love. You might be better off loving someone who's more similar to you.
Yeah, someone who you share more in common with.
Do you know that radiation?
And we weren't given that option at all.
Don't go out. Talk to the guy. Talk to the teacher. I think he has some interesting dialogue.
Son of a gun.
Sorry, you're in the wrong place. This is a school, not a store.
I'd like to buy your children.
A school, huh?
Yes, every child in Diamond City gets a free education here. We even teach night classes if they have busy day schedules. I'm afraid you're a little old to be enrolling here. Doubt you'd fit in the seats. But it's a public building, so feel free to look around. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to my lesson plans.
Who can tell me?
Okay.
Henry and Sally
Interesting.
had 4 mute fruits, and they cut them all up into 4 slices each.
Hey,
How many
Mr.
All right,
slices
so
would you
nothing
have?
happens here for a while. You have to come back. The next time you come back to Diamond City during the day, toward the front gate, these two will be getting married. But for now,
Even though I
you can
told her
go-
no?
How many mute fruits did they
Yes,
start with?
they get married no matter
Oh,
what,
don't mind me. I can be so
as far as I remember. So now we can go to the Universal Church that's near the front gate.
Okay. Going there right now. Walk, 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 walk.
Yeah. Yeah, Embargo and I tried to install... well, the load screens really haven't been that bad this time around. So
No, I think maybe the mod's
fingers
helping.
crossed. Turn left.
Watch
Stop.
back.
Go into that building. Straight ahead.
Oh, this is the church?
This is the church.
Jesus, how could you tell? Oh, it says chapel on the top. Just in case you're flying overhead and you want to know what it is. All Faiths Chapel. Alright, what are the faiths? Who are we serving? Where are the prayer rugs? A lot of just something on the
Good
ground.
to see someone new in the chapel. Diamond City treating you all right?
Hallelujah.
This your chapel here, Pastor?
Well, that depends. I suppose I should say this chapel really belongs to God.
Oh.
But since I never get around to deciding which God in particular, I guess you could say it belongs to all of them.
Oh.
Now, if you ever need a quiet place to sit down and ponder the Almighty in whatever form strikes your fancy, we're always open.
Alright, so then what do you do?
They just could not have an actual chapel.
Yeah.
They couldn't have a Christian chapel in this game because, it was the current year and, diversity. We couldn't offend any of the minorities. We couldn't offend Jews or Muslims or, the Sikhs or anybody else. It just drives me nuts.
Where are we right now? In the world?
Boston.
Boston. Ah, yes. Okay. What a joke.
Like I'd waste my time with that.
Well, it's here for you all the same. If you ever come around.
He's so sad.
Pastor,
You keep out of trouble now.
I probably should have said that other option.
Yeah, I mean, you could reload. But I don't think any of the... Yeah, I don't think there are any... I just wanted you to see the inside of there. I don't think there's that many interesting conversation options.
I mean,
but
it's
just,
pathetic.
I don't know,
Good
talk to
to
him
see
again.
someone new in the chapel. Diamond City treating you all right?
Chapel?
This your chapel?
Well, that depends. But since I never get... Now, if you ever need a...
What religion?
All right.
So you don't practice any particular religion here?
As long as you believe in something, you're welcome.
What about the
Diamond
white
City
race?
is full of people trying to build a better life. I just don't want them to forget what makes them human while they're at it. So the chapel is open 24 hours a day to whatever form of worship you like, long as it's peaceful.
What about ancestor worship? Can I do that?
I'm just gonna take a look around.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I just, that always rubs me the wrong way when all these people are talking about, like, freedom, 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 and all these, like, white supremacists and nationalists, like, they're all, like, against freedom, and it's just like, meanwhile, all these people want to deny me the freedom of association.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, maybe I don't have an argument. Maybe I am low IQ. Maybe I have an IQ of 85 and I'm just stupid.
Really talk to the
So what? So what?
They should be happy to be rid of you.
Excuse me.
First time. Just try to keep it down.
Excuse me.
Not sure what God I'm supposed to be praying to. Pastor says it doesn't matter.
Wow, what a good pastor.
He's not a very good pastor, is he?
This doesn't even matter. None of this matters. This is... What a weird thing that they've included in this game.
Again, though, I think it's just like a ham-fisted, like, we don't want to piss anybody off, but we still want to have some kind of religious thing there. I mean, I don't know. It is really weird, and I definitely consider it subversive in a sense, but, I don't know how to exactly characterize it. I don't know why you insist on using the power armor all the time, man. I mean, like, you got God mode on. It's just kind of annoying, to be honest.
Don't let all that horsepower go to your head.
I was gonna say, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, go into the middle of the square.
You see that big blimp? What's the Brotherhood of
Do I
Steel?
see the big
Why are
blimp?
they
No,
here?
I don't see the big blimp.
Yeah, so go to your left and turn right a little bit. Go talk to the weapon guy right here to your left. That guy.
New guy, am I right?
No, of course I'm not the new guy.
New guy?
Word kind of travels fast in Diamond City. What can I say? Name's Arturo Rodriguez. If you need protection, let's talk.
I mean, again, 200 some years later, and we still got no ethnogenesis going on. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
here is a very Hispanic-looking, very Hispanic-sounding man in the middle of the I mean, not even. We're not even just talking about in Boston. We're talking about like who's been living inside of the baseball stadium for who knows how many years. Like it's just ridiculous.
So we've heard his accent and the Indian ladies. How many Boston accents have we heard?
Not many, but they are there.
Okay. Maybe I haven't. I don't remember any, but must not have been very strong.
I'll show you. Back away from this guy. Just ignore him. You don't have to hit any of the options. You can just back away.
I don't need anything.
Well, we're always here.
Just so you know, you're not locked into the dialogue. If you can like literally just move away mid dialogue, but turn around. Turn right. Turn right again. Go straight.
Don't be caught dead.
Talk to the guy right there to your right.
Protection from coming.
He's got a Boston accent.
You there! You need a genuine, authentic, custom-made hickory swatter.
What's a swatter?
Rookie, eh? A swatter, my friend, is a Diamond City tradition. See, it used to be that this whole place was a stadium.
Yeah, it looks like
two
it.
teams would meet and play a game called baseball. One team would beat the other team to death with these things called baseball bats, and the best bats were called swatters. True fact.
Okay.
Look, dumbass, that's not how baseball was played.
That right, Mr. Smarty Pants? Yeah, if you're such an expert, how do you think it was played?
I'll just tell him how it actually was played, I guess.
There were balls, strikes, 3 bases, and home runs. You kept score by how many runners made it to home plate.
Great way to waste an afternoon.
I like my version better. Now, can I
kind of like his version better too.
genuine, authentic, custom-made hickory swab?
So you can just back away. He doesn't really have anything else interesting to say. There's
Pass.
No respect for the sport.
No respect for the sport.
turn right.
Right?
Yeah, and go straight.
So thirsty.
And turn left where the cans are and talk to this woman. She's an Asian.
You? I don't know you. Just keep your distance.
What's going on?
Keep calm. I'm standing still.
That's exactly what a synth would say. I don't know. Are you really, human?
Yes, I'm human.
Human as the day I was born.
Well, you do look human enough. But I'll be watching you. I have eyes like a... Well, they're good eyes. Got it? All right. We can do business, but no funny stuff.
You do see the synth right next to me, right?
Yeah, she should know him. I mean, he's like a fixture of the town. But I mean, again, there's all these like weird, conflicting ideas. Like, I mean, the whole idea here is that they accepted Nick Valentine because he doesn't look quite human, and he's really proved himself.
No synths allowed here.
She's screaming, "No sense around here!"
We got small arms, long arms, ammunition.
What is he doing?
Okay, so this is, I don't know what you're doing.
Well, I was getting pushed by that.
Yeah. So that's basically it for Diamond City until you come back later and the church thing comes about with the marriage between the... Well, there are some other things you can explore here, but I'd just say you should move on. I mean, we're at 8:30, and you might want to wrap up the next little segment. I don't know, whatever you want to do.
Well, what do you think? Go Brotherhood or go for the sun, the glowing thing, the sea?
If I would say do the Brotherhood stuff.
All right, let's see what they're doing. I mean, they did bring what looks to be a giant steel blimp.
Yep.
Is that the swacker? The swooshy?
Swatter.
The swatter?
The swatter. The swatter. That's an authentic. I can't do it. I can only say the word correctly. I can't do the whole accent.
It's the police station, right? Is that where we're going?
Yeah.
Okay, they're still there. Okay, good.
You can switch the quest.
The Assaultron robot was constructed by Robco and sold to the U.S. military as frontline wartime combatant. It is fast and deadly at close range and employs devastating laser at a distance. Some units can even employ stealth technology. Okay. I thought it might say something to the fact that they're women. They're female robot things. Or robots that tell you they're women. Or something.
I think that particular robot that you talked to was supposed to be fairly unique.
Oh, but they all got chests.
Let's hope they don't mistake us for ghouls.
They won't mistake me for a ghoul. You're the one with a skin hanging off your neck.
Whole case of ammo holding this site.
Well, that's supposed to be like a jab, like the Brotherhood of Steel are like real big bad xenophobes.
Oh.
Which
I thought it was because he looked like a ghoul. I mean, I thought he was a ghoul when I first met him.
No, the Brotherhood of Steel are like big xenophobes. Like everybody, like they hate ghouls.
Well, I mean, most ghouls are definitely worth hating, aren't they? Look, that was quick for a police station loading.
Cavalry's arrived, and it looks like they sent in the big guns.
Me? Cavalry?
The airship.
We call our ship the Prydwen. She's loaded with enough troops and supplies to mount a major offensive.
On
if
who?
She's here, Elder Maxon's here. And that means we're going to war.
With who? Who's Elder Maxon?
Maxon? Man's a lunatic.
Maxon is the commander of this division of the Brotherhood of Steel. He's the model of what every Brotherhood soldier hopes to become. If we're going to war, I can promise you that he'll be leading the charge. That being said, you're about to get to know the Prydwen
Weird shadows on his nose.
Personal. I've received orders that we're both to report to her immediately. Follow me up to the roof of the police station. We're going for a little ride.
So you caught Nick's little jab there, like, oh, yeah. I mean, and that's what most companions will say, shitty things about the Brotherhood of Steel. And they won't really say shitty things about the Railroad.
Time to waste when there's work to be done.
So, there is a big slant.
We can't get anyone to tell us anything meaningful, though. Alright. Slightly longer loading screen.
Yeah, the loading screen here is always bad when you exit the building, period.
We gotta load some...
Yeah, so whenever you enter the building, it's not bad. But when you exit the Cambridge police station, it's very bad.
Alright.
So...
Well, guess we got a lot to load.
Yeah. I mean, this is where you could, I could have some Okay, well, we loaded in. Alright, no problem. So
alright, on to the vertibird. Hey! Oh, I thought you just press...
You don't see a lot of vertibirds in this kind of shape. You know.
That minigun in front of you is loaded and ready to fire. If you spot anything hostile during the flight, I suggest you...
What are we expecting to see in the air?
Make sure you properly identify your target.
Or are we shooting on the ground?
Shooting. We don't want to have any mishaps and fire on the locals.
You might want to change your quest marker. Shadow of Steel. Yeah. And turn off the other one so it doesn't conflict. There.
Doesn't it? It never ceases to amaze me how drastically
What if I just shoot this?
We're gonna need that edge when we take on the Institute. They've already proven that they're technologically superior, which means there's no telling what types of weapons they'll have in their arsenal. Hopefully, our air superiority and tactical know-how will make the difference. Now all we have to do is find them. And I'm betting that Elder Maxon will have a plan already in place by the time we arrive.
So this is perfect. Right?
It is.
Well, I need to find the Institute. They stole my son. They want to fight the Institute. Now it makes sense for me to be with the Brotherhood. Someone's shooting at me.
Commonwealth's last hope for survival. Every man, woman, and child below is in mortal danger. If we fail, it's only a matter of time before the enemy overwhelms the population. Cleansing the Commonwealth is our duty, and I will gladly spill my own blood if it ensures our victory. We're on final approach to the airport.
Is this stuttering for you?
I don't think so. Does it look like it's stuttering? It looks like the buildings are going by fine. Giant ship. I don't know how that got there.
I just think that your stream to me is screwed up. The stream you're viewing currently has reduced video or audio quality. This may be due to network conditions.
Oh, maybe network conditions are bad. How does it look for you guys on DLive or Trovo or Twitch? How do the network conditions look? It's the blimp. Should I shoot the blimp? Does anything happen if I shoot the blimp?
No, nothing happens.
Okay. What if I shoot this? It seems like it would be bad. I guess not. I guess we're good. They don't build vertibirds like they used to. Tell you what. Emu says it looks decent. Okay. I guess we're good.
I think it's just Discord.
Oh, the thing.
All right, soldier. This is the moment when everything changes. I hope you're ready.
All right. That was very long. That flight across the city. Are we supposed to be impressed? Was this their chance to show off that they built a whole city in the game engine?
If it was, I mean, that sequence has never run good for the majority of people, so, I mean, and it's never really looked good either. I mean, to me, it's always looked kind of ugly.
What the hell is happening? Oh.
Rumbling. Mechanical.
Talk to us. We should head back to the office next chance we get.
So you push E to, yeah. But what happened there was this mechanical arm extended down and docked. the vertibird.
Permission to come aboard, sir?
Permission granted. And welcome back, Paladin.
I feel like we should ask permission before we stepped off the vertibird.
Successful mission. And is this our new recruit?
Yes, sir. I feel promoted him to initiate, and I'd like to sponsor his entry into our rankings personally.
Yes, we've read your reports. You'll be pleased to know that Elder Maxon's approved your request. Place the recruit in your charge.
Thank you, sir. And my current orders?
You are to remain on the Pridwin and await further instructions.
Very good, sir.
Oh, by the way, we also brought a synth on board. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, they don't react. I mean, that is legitimately a problem. Like, they don't react to any of that, which is just crazy. You could talk to the captain back there if you want to get some. I think he says some interesting stuff.
Does he?
So, you're the one Paladin Danse has taken under his wing. You don't look much like a soldier to me.
You can't even see me. I'm in a suit of armor.
And what's a soldier supposed to look like?
A soldier is supposed to be an efficient killing machine. Not a relic from the past, playing catch-up with the rest of the world.
How do you...
If Danse hadn't stepped in and vouched for you, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Accepting outsiders like yourself has proven disastrous in the past. I've read Paladin Dance's reports. He seems to think you'll make a fine addition to the Brotherhood. You might expect an endorsement like that to grant you a great deal of latitude with us. But let me make one thing clear. The Brotherhood of Steel has traveled to the Commonwealth with a specific goal in mind.
Yeah?
As the captain of this vessel, I won't allow anyone to jeopardize our mission, no matter how valuable they think they are. Understood?
Oh, sure. What mission?
But I mean, you see why that you know, he's like villainizing all the, like you know, whenever we've accepted outsiders into our fold, it's proven disastrous, and it's like we're being villainized right now for that. You know, like that faction is like this is a really bad faction because
this
don't
is
like outsiders.
In stark contrast to Good Neighbor, right? In Good Neighbor, they're great. You know, they accept outsiders and they give away chems to each other. You know, and they are good. And these are the bad guys because, you know,
they're disciplined, they're a military, they're not a democracy, and they don't like outsiders.
Yeah. What mission?
You're wasting our time, so
what exactly is your mission here?
I'm not at liberty to say. Elder Maxon will be addressing the crew shortly, and I'm certain all of your questions will be answered.
Oh.
Now, was there anything else, or was everything I said understood?
Oh, it was understood. Oh, what if not even a hint?
Not even a hint? Come on. I deserve it.
No. You'll just have to wait until Elder Maxon addresses the crew. Now dispense with the questions. It's time to get to work. Understood? That's all for now, soldier.
Oh,
Your orders are
I don't
to
get the
proceed
chance
to
to
the
answer.
command deck for the address. After which, Elder Maxon wishes to have a word with you.
Oh.
If you have any questions, ask me now. Otherwise, you're dismissed.
You told me to dispense with the questions. But okay, I'll ask questions.
Can you tell me anything about Elder Maxon?
Elder Maxon is the supreme commander of the Brotherhood. Without his tenacity and his vision, we'd still be a small group of complacent stragglers, occupying the Citadel and the capital wasteland. In a mere decade, he's grown the Brotherhood of Steel into a major military force. He's an inspiration to us all. Is there anything else?
Yeah, bro, we look at the chat. I appreciate the follow, by the way. Power armor.
Where can I get power armor?
Only knights are allowed to wear Brotherhood
Well, that's
power
weird.
armor. And you're no knight. Not yet. Until Elder Maxon grants you that title, you'll have to make do with what you've got.
Which is also
Anything
power
else?
armor. My orders?
What are my orders?
Your orders are to proceed to Elder Maxon's address, after which he wishes to speak with you. Anything else?
Okay, I'm good.
I don't have any questions.
Then I suggest you head over to the command deck immediately. Dismissed, Initiate.
Abomination. Well, good afternoon to you, too.
Sarcastic from Nick.
This area is under our protection.
Oh. Hello, lady.
Yeah, get ready for that. There are a lot of female paladins.
Elder Maxon is holding his address inside the
You know,
command
I mean, and again, you know, this isn't about being misogynistic or anything like that. It's just in a survival scenario wherein humanity was reduced down to a much smaller population. You know, you wouldn't put women in these kinds of positions because
you don't want to let them
from an
die.
evolutionary like they would be like the absolute key to our survival.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's just retarded. It's just retarded.
Hey, can't say that on Twitch.
I hate Twitch.
Yeah. Well. Okay. We go up or down or what? Oh, I guess we go not up. Neither.
Brothers and sisters, the road behind has been long and fraught with difficulty.
Where's
Each
Dance?
and every one of you has surpassed my expectations by rapidly facilitating our arrival in the Commonwealth. You have accomplished this amazing feat without a hint of purpose or direction. And most impressively, without question. Now that the ship is in position, it is time to reveal our purpose and our mission.
All right,
Beneath
hit
the
me.
Commonwealth, there is a cancer, known as the Institute.
Uh-huh.
A malignant growth that needs to be cut before it infects the surface.
Yeah.
This is very reminiscent of stuff Hitler said.
Oh, really?
It could prove to be the
Yeah.
world's undoing for the second time in recent history. The Institute scientists have created a weapon that transcends the destructive nature of the atom bomb.
Synths?
They call their creation the synth. A robotic
Where's my
abomination
synth?
of technology that is free-thinking and masquerades as a human being. This notion that a machine could be granted free will is not only offensive, but horribly dangerous. And like the atom, if it isn't harnessed properly, it has the potential of rendering us extinct as a species. I am not prepared to allow the Institute to continue this line of experimentation. Therefore, the Institute and their synths are considered enemies of the Brotherhood of Steel, and should be dealt with swiftly and mercilessly. This campaign will be costly, and many lives will be lost. But in the end, we will be saving humankind from its worst enemy. Itself. Ad Victoriam!
Ad Victoriam! Ad Victoriam!
I mean, I don't know how you feel, but I pretty much agree with most of what he said there, in the sense that, like, you know, I don't think the Institute should be like, if I were living in this universe and operating within it, I would probably side with the Brotherhood of Steel. I don't think the Institute should be allowed to continue what it is that they're doing. You know, so yeah.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, you're supposed to. Sorry.
Schmerling says, the Brotherhood of Steel are all inclusive, egalitarian feminists, but because they don't take literal body-snatching androids, they're Hitler.
Yeah. I mean, again, this really does show you how the Overton window, it's just like what William Luther Pierce said, you know, progressivism is a disease, and it just keeps going and going. It doesn't stop at any point. It just gets worse and worse. I mean,
I think he said liberalism is a progressive disease.
Well, whatever. I mean, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I care about them.
No, the desire, the compulsion to be undiscriminating is a progressive disease.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop at any point. It just gets worse and worse. That's verbatim.
Yeah. Let's see here. I don't remember what he said. Preparing for war, I suppose I'll say.
Care about them? I thought we were preparing for war.
The Brotherhood is here to prevent a war by starting one of our own. The difference is, our war won't reduce civilization to ashes.
Just the Institute.
Right, which, I mean, honestly, again, I kind of would want to destroy the Institute.
This is very weird. Like, so he's my superior officer, right? So I'm going to say, what do you want? Impatient, not convincing?
Yeah, they really don't give you any options to really roleplay anything here. The only yeah, so I mean, you really can't roleplay Brotherhood of Steel very well. It's kind of,
you can't roleplay anything in
together.
this damn game.
Not really, but I mean, with the Brotherhood of Steel, I think it's particularly bad.
So I'm going to say, what do you want, I guess?
I know this is overwhelming for you, but I'd appreciate your attention.
What do you want from me?
I want you to start taking responsibility for this planet, to start making a difference. And from what I've read in Paladin Dance's reports, you've already begun that journey. Seeing as he's one of my most respected field officers, you couldn't get a better recommendation.
Okay.
Therefore, From this moment forward, I'm granting you the rank of knight.
Oh.
And,
promoted.
befitting your title, we're granting you a suit of power armor to protect you on the field of battle.
Oh.
Wear it with pride.
You know, I have one of those.
This is a better one. Which I do have to admit, I do think they make the Brotherhood of Steel aesthetically look pretty good.
Yeah.
I definitely like the Brotherhood of Steel power armor in this. The T60, even though it's not like lore friendly, it looks pretty beast.
All right. I guess I'll do my best.
I'll do my best to live up to it.
I'm certain that you will. In any event, once you're finished becoming familiar with the Pridwin and my staff, report to the flight deck for your new orders. Welcome aboard the Pridwin, soldier. Make us proud.
Wow. Well, his arm went into his jacket. It's interesting that I'm
100% efficiency.
going to go to the flight deck?
Well, okay, stop. Don't do anything for a second. So for now, we're gonna go to basically when we want to continue with the mission, we're gonna go out the way we came. But for now, we want to go get your suit of power armor, and I think there's some things you can do and just see the rest of the ship. So just turn around and click on that ladder in front of you.
Josie says the Brotherhood reminds me of the Adeptus Mechanicus from Warhammer. Yeah, I think they're similar aesthetically in some ways.
Good. Carry on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty badass looking.
Yeah. Okay, now where do I go?
Straight ahead. Yeah.
Congratulations on the promotion.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that dance?
So how did it look?
I didn't see you at the thing.
Buzz Lightyear.
Ahead of us, brother.
Oh, yeah.
There's a mod to make him look like Buzz Lightyear.
How did it go with Elder
It's pretty
Mouse?
hilarious.
I bet it's hilarious.
I'll link it to you.
They should replace all his voice lines too, like to infinity and beyond. He's dedicated. Oh, how old is he?
Maxon seems so young compared to everyone else. You're okay with that?
Don't let his age fool you. Maxon's a brilliant tactician, a formidable warrior, and possesses an idealistic vision for the future of the Brotherhood. I'd follow him anywhere, without question.
How'd you get this confidence in him?
Why are you so confident in his abilities?
A decade ago, the Brotherhood had almost gone completely astray.
Oh, really?
The Elder before Maxon sent us down a path that was leading nowhere. He was more concerned about charity than the preservation of technology. But when Maxon took over, he single-handedly reprioritized the Brotherhood from the ground up and put us back on the path to glory. This ship and its crew are a testament to his leadership.
I feel like this is a point where you're supposed to like him less. Like, you deprioritize charity? Like, again,
right.
we don't really understand. Like, they're never going to explain us, like, the actual meaningful details that we would require to make.
Yeah, like what's the ethos? What's the modus operandi? Like, what are their values? Like, what are their ultimate goals? You know, like, they kind of hint at certain tidbits of it, but like, no one actually ever sits down and spells it out for you.
Yeah,
you know?
We can't, like, here we are. I think we're in a situation where we're supposed to make judgments about them as a group, but we're not provided meaningful information to make judgments.
Well, you're just supposed to, right, but you're just supposed to hear that, oh, they don't give out charity. They have all this stuff, and they don't just hand it out willy-nilly to everybody, you know? So, you know, because in Fallout 3, the elder that was in charge of the Washington, D.C. chapter deviated from the original Brotherhood of Steel mandate and basically went on a charity mission in the D.C. area. And I don't say that was necessarily bad, but it is that's what they're referring to here. They're referring to, like, the previous elder led them astray. And actually in Fallout 3 there's a subset of the Brotherhood of Steel who goes rogue, and they're called the Outcasts. So they leave the Brotherhood of Steel because they feel like they're
medic or something?
You know, deviating from their original mandate too much.
Yeah. Bro says on DLive says Maxon's main goal is to save the world, though. That's charitable. Yeah, it is. I mean, if these people here are being terrorized by the Institute and their synths, fighting a war on behalf of these people to stop the Institute is charitable towards the people trying to live their lives here.
Right. I mean, it's like even if you don't take like an ethnic, racial approach to any of this, and you're just of the mindset that like humanity is under threat, like all of our different ethnies and races as a whole are under threat. And the Brotherhood of Steel is coming in, and they're saying, you know, we're gonna make sacrifices, and we're gonna do what's necessary to
just ignoring
safeguard humanity in the long run. So we're gonna make the hard decisions, we're gonna make sacrifices, and we're gonna do what's not necessarily pleasant in order to ensure our survival. That's not a bad thing, and yet they're acting very emotionally. They're reacting very emotionally to those ideas and saying like, well, you're not letting ghouls in. You're not being more charitable with everything that you have. And it's just like, you know, it just goes to show you that some people really shouldn't be in charge of a lot of stuff. Some people really can't make the hard decisions and deal with it.
Right.
He's a very dedicated man. It sounds like he stands behind everything he's saying.
Of course he does. How could he afford not to? I just hope you appreciate how much of a chance I'm taking bringing you into the fold this quickly. Not to put too fine a point on it, but if you screw up, we go down together.
Oh. Well, you're the one who... Yeah, you did this.
So what's all this about you being my sponsor?
Elder Maxon is understandably particular when it comes to new recruits. He believes in order to keep the Brotherhood strong, we have to bond as brothers. As your sponsor, it's my duty to travel with you throughout the Commonwealth to ensure that our ideals are being observed.
So you're going to kick out my
That's
synth.
why I'm so concerned about your performance in the field.
Never does that. I mean, again, you know, like what I really don't like, just from a gameplay perspective, you know, put aside all the agendas and all of that. What I never liked about Fallout 4 was that if you wanted to roleplay as the Brotherhood, as a member of the Brotherhood of Steel, you should be getting orders and you should be like following those orders. And when you don't follow those orders, there should be consequences. But pretty much you get to run around and do whatever it is you want without any consequences. It's like, you're not really like, you don't get this sense of being a member of a military. And so, you know, that's fine if they didn't want to. Well, it's not fine. I just felt like it was a missed opportunity.
You're awfully quiet.
I won't let you down, Dance. I promise.
Good. Now, I know you're eager to hop into a suit of power armor and take the fight to the Institute. But first things first. In order to be an effective part of the team, you need to learn your way around this ship and get to know its crew. Since I've been officially assigned to you as your sponsor, I'd recommend taking me along with you.
But I have my synth here.
Do you need to come with me now?
It might help if I tagged along with you. On the other hand, you might want to make your first impression without a paladin standing over your shoulder. It's up to you.
I mean, I don't know. I would take him with you, just for now. And then you can go back to using Nick later.
You can come with me or wait until I'm done. It's up to you.
In that case, I prefer to tag along. If you change your mind, just let me know.
All right, so
Nick to the airport, I guess.
Yeah. Which is just weird because it's just like the Boston air. This is part of their territory, so it's like now they have like this synth just running around at random, like you know, on their. It makes no sense.
Okay.
So you can ditch this suit of power armor, and because you'll get your T60 turnaround.
You want me to just drop it off here?
It doesn't matter. I mean, I wouldn't put it in the middle of the aisle or wherever
Don't
where you gotta
despair,
walk,
brother.
but
We're here to save the Commonwealth.
Damn it. This bald lady's
put it off
in
in a corner or something. Or I mean, honestly, you can console command it to remove it.
Oh.
It's fine. You can get out of it here. It doesn't matter.
Let me put it over by the stove.
To procure supplies from local farms.
Then you can't cook.
All right. Well, watch this for me.
All right. So turn around. And turn left. Turn left. Turn left. I think that power armor's yours. Yeah, it's yours.
So you're the new knight I heard about. Glad to have you on the team.
There it is.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, brother. So now you got to go around and talk to the people on the ship.
I want my beak. I want my beak to be more pointy. All right.
To
Waymarkers,
your left.
huh?
Yeah.
How can a machine believe it's alive? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
Step forward, Knight. Even though they've locked me in this blasted cage, I promise that I won't bite.
How is your cage?
Why are you in there?
I'm glad you asked. Now, this is the stowage depot, and I, as you probably already guessed, am the ship's quartermaster, Proctor Tegan. The powers that be have me locked in here, so I can keep an eye on the Brotherhood's
Oh, you're
valuables.
actually locked in here. I thought you
If
were
you need to
being
stock up
facetious
on
or
supplies
something.
before you head out on a mission, this is the place to buy them.
Buy?
Wait, buy them? Since when does the military sell equipment to its own soldiers?
Since someone dropped a whole bunch of bombs and blew up every single factory that manufactured weapons and ammunition.
It is
Keeping the
just
Brotherhood
such a cop-out.
supplied
No,
takes
that's
caps,
bullshit,
and
yeah.
Everyone contributes to the cause. The good news is by having a constant flow of caps, I'm able to buy whatever you bring me. Yeah, I'm mostly interested in weapons, but I'll take anything useful. Of course, if you're just looking to make a few caps on the side, I might have some extra work for you to do.
What?
Yeah. You should check that out.
Extra work?
What sort of extra work are we talking about?
Oh, no. It's nothing like you're thinking.
What am I
Just
thinking?
involves a little bit of heavy lifting and interacting with the local farms. And since I'm stuck up here manning this one-man zoo, I need someone to do the legwork for me. After you're done with the meet and greet, we can discuss the details.
What?
In the meantime, if you ever need anything else, gun, a mod,
We should definitely come
even
back to
ammo,
this. Basically, he's going to send you out to the local farms, and you're going to like strong arm them into handing over supplies.
Weird.
So I think we should come back to this. But
he didn't really explain it at all when I asked him.
I know, but he will later. He will after you do like this first
you're the new
mission.
recruit I heard about.
Here's the double
Not
amputee.
what I was expecting.
You got a problem?
Sounds like you're disappointed.
I'm not disappointed, just surprised. You don't look like one of the usual wastelanders we pick up.
How can you tell?
Anyway,
I'm in
since
your
you
armor.
came down here to meet me, we may as well get it over with. My name's Ingram, and this lovely little grease pit is where you'll usually find me. If your power armor's too tight in the crotch, the Pridwin's about to crash into the ground, or a robot's gone haywire, you come see me.
Oh, wow. You must be some sort of genius.
Is this where I get my power armor?
That's always the first question from the new guys. Let's see.
Yeah.
I just fixed up a pretty decent T-60 suit.
Yeah, we
The
know.
left leg
He's
actuator's
in
a
it.
bit sticky, but it'll keep the creeps off of you. It's sitting in Bay 3. There isn't a day that goes by on this tub without 5 or 6 things breaking down. And since I'm stuck in this rig, I'm not quite as spry as I used to be. The work tends to pile up.
To be fair, there's no like you're not gonna really know offhand that this suit of power armor in Bay 3 is yours. I mean, most people are probably gonna go around talking to all these people first, and then they'll get the hint that it's in Bay 3. So like we kind of broke the game.
You feel like telling me how you ended up that way?
That's a little personal, don't you think?
Oh, you mentioned it. You mentioned it.
Would it help if I promised not to tell anyone else?
I'm not really looking for sympathy. And honestly, I don't know you that well. Maybe some other time. Anyway, if you need any work done on your power armor, feel free to use the workshops around here. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to work.
All right.
All right. So there's one more person you have to talk to before you can proceed with the mission. But just so you know, we're at 9 o'clock.
Okay. Is the conversation super long with this person?
No, the 2 other people. I'm sorry. Both of them are fairly short. They're about as long as the last 2 conversations.
Ah, good. You're finally here. Just set the books down anywhere. I'll get to them as soon as I can.
I don't have any books for you.
What are you doing with all these books?
I suppose I could stop working for a moment to address your question.
Wow. I can. What do you mean? I can agree? Okay.
Makes sense to get rid of the trash.
Well,
what?
I'm pleased you agree. Since it's obvious that you aren't who I was expecting, would you mind telling me why you're here?
Did you just refer to the books as trash?
I guess it didn't. The lines didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I'm meeting the crew.
Maxon wanted me to meet the crew. Next on my list.
Ah, yes. You must be the new recruit described in Paladin Dance's report. Under normal circumstances, I'd provide you with a proper orientation of my department.
What's your department?
However, I'm woefully behind setting up research patrols and getting bombarded with requests for technical documentation. Unfortunately,
Again, how does he have a
personnel
British
needed
accent?
to get the job done?
You know, like this is a very insular group.
Yeah.
And I mean, so it's just that stuff just bothers me.
What type of
It's not like I have something against British accents. It's
The
just
Brotherhood is
Yeah.
primarily interested in collecting information that might assist us with our current mission. Medical records, science journals, weapon schematics. If it contains any type of useful data, we need to get our hands on it.
Research patrols?
What exactly is a research patrol?
Simply put, we send a small two-man team to scout a location and evaluate its technical and historical relevance. Saves us from sending an entire retrieval team to a worthless location.
Schmerling says, imagine if everyone in this game had a thick Boston accent. Well, actually, what would make a lot of sense is for everybody in Boston to have a Boston accent, but it would make sense for everybody in the Brotherhood of Steel to have probably a Midland or a Mid-Atlantic accent, or probably something actually from the Midwest, because historically in the
Your
lore, this
silence
group
is
originally came, I think, from the Midwestern faction. So, yeah, I mean, I would expect all of these guys to be saying something along the lines of, like, oh, yeah. Sorry.
Maybe I can lend you a hand.
That would be splendid. As you patrol the Commonwealth, keep your eyes open for blueprints, memos, manuals, books, charts. Anything containing useful technical data. I'm authorized to pay you for each bundle of documents that you recover. And if you wish to be assigned to a research patrol, I have plenty of them waiting to be filled. In any
Those
event,
are really boring, and there's nothing
pleasure to
interesting
meet you, Knight.
Yeah.
about them, really.
Sounds like bullshit time waster.
Yeah, we won't do that.
Glad you
So then
finally
there's this
stopped
guy.
by, soldier. Are you ready for your medical exam?
Yeah.
What kind of medical exam? I feel fine.
There's nothing to be alarmed about. I just have a few simple questions about your medical history. It's my responsibility to make sure that you don't bring anything up here that could pose a threat to the crew.
Well, it looks
I'm
like
going
it's
to
too late
ask
for
you a
that.
series of medical-related questions, and I'd like you to answer me to the best of your ability. First question. As a child, were you ever exposed to radiation for an extended period of time?
No.
There wasn't that much radiation around before the bombs fell.
Before the bombs? What? Let me check my notes. You were a vault dweller? You're probably healthier than anyone else aboard. Anyway, sorry I missed that in your records. Just going down the list of questions. I'm sure you understand. Okay, second question. Have you ever had or come in contact with a person confirmed to be carrying a communicable disease?
That includes... then, I mean, the common cold's a communicable disease.
Have you had problems with the crew catching diseases?
Well, yes, actually. It's not unusual for our recon teams to stumble across contaminated environments or disease-carrying creatures. We don't want a single crewman infecting the entire ship. Anyway, this exam is about you, so... have you had or come in contact with anyone carrying a communicable disease?
Not that I know of. I've never been sick, I guess I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Never been seriously sick in my life.
Good, good. Third question. And please, answer honestly. Have you ever had sexual relations with any species considered non-human?
No. Does this happen often?
That happens often enough for you to have a question about it?
You'd be surprised how many Wastelanders answer yes to that question. Fortunately, the Brotherhood finds that type of behavior absolutely distasteful. Since you haven't spent too much time in the Wasteland, I'll assume your answer is no.
I could answer it myself.
Would you
but
have
whatever.
any problems pulling the trigger on an enemy of the Brotherhood, whether they're human, formerly human, or machine?
This is interesting. It's not a health check. But I think it's supposed to be like...
Psychological screening.
Supposed to. Oh yeah, I suppose. Well, also I think it's supposed to strike the player as like invasive and like
Yeah.
you're getting cornered. Like, are you gonna kill people no matter who? Like the
You
Brotherhood's
might
gonna.
want to rethink your joining this faction.
you
Maybe you
feeling
should
well,
go find the railroad.
Yeah. Moral questions?
That's more of a morals question, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I feel that the mental state of the crew is just as important as the physical. Anyone that hesitates
Reasonable.
firing in combat due to misguided moral standards certainly isn't Brotherhood material. So what about you?
Reasonable.
Would you have a problem with it?
Nope.
No.
Nope. No problem whatsoever.
Excellent. You'll fit in quite well around here. Excellent. I think I've got all the information I need. I see no reason to prevent you from beginning your duties immediately. If you ever need medical assistance, you let me know.
All right, well, you heard him. We're going to begin our duties immediately next week. Next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same time as always. Yeah, appreciate you all
Tune in
showing
tomorrow.
Up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow on my channel for our continued playthrough of The Outer Worlds.
Yeah, it's been interesting so far to have Krogan playing The Outer Worlds. It's a very goofy game, just like this one in a lot of ways. You know, they're both goofy in their own ways. But, you know, a lot of these games, what we consistently find, I actually posted some clips on my Twitter, by the way, of him playing The Outer Worlds, some of the points that we talked about. If you haven't seen those clips, check my Twitter history. But, I mean, consistently what we find in all of these games is that they'll attempt to propose a moral dilemma where you don't have the information to really make any meaningful say. Similar here in this game where it's like, well, are these guys good or bad? I don't know. Are they? We're never given anything substantial to go on. You know, it's like the game developers want to be able to provide you something, but don't have the. Maybe they don't have the work cycles. Maybe they don't have the intellectual ability to, you know, realize that they need to provide us more sophisticated stuff. Oh. Okay. No, I probably muted myself there too, did I?
Yeah, you muted and deafened yourself.
Jesus
so
Christ.
Couldn't hear anything.
Well, what was I saying when I did that?
I had just finished saying that to tune into our channel. My channel tomorrow at 7 p.m. for the continued playthrough of The Outer Worlds. That's all.
Okay. Well, there was a lot of things that I said then. Okay, I'll keep it short then. The Outer Worlds tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Krogan's channel. So be ready for that. It's been interesting to play that game so far. You know, we see the same sort of stuff in that game as this, insofar as like the developer's gonna give you a moral dilemma. You know, they want you to judge a group of people. You know, are they doing the right thing? Are they not doing the right thing? But then they don't tell you anything about it. You know, it's all surface level BS.
Well, one thing that's definitely going on here is that, like, if you play the game the way, if you play through the game the way they really want you to, you kind of have to run into every faction at some point.
Mhm.
Eventually, like, we will be ham-fisted into going to the railroad and talking to them and seeking them out. And if you take all that into consideration, what you see is that there are these subtle biases that come out and they kind of funnel you. It's just like, you know, there are some factions that are less morally sound than others. There are some factions that are more morally questionable than others. And, you know, you can kind of see how they're setting you up here to think, well, maybe the Brotherhood of Steel is morally objectionable and maybe we should kind of keep our eye out for another faction that's better.
But they don't do it through, like, so they do it all through aesthetics, right? They do it, they make these guys look rigid, and they make them look cruel. They don't actually really provide you any significant, like, understanding of what they're doing and why they're doing and their motivations, so you can judge those, right? You're given an opportunity to get a surface level understanding of who presents certain aesthetics, and then you judge them on that alone. And it's very You know, on some point, I wonder, like, are there developers at these companies who are writing all this detailed stuff, and they're told like they don't have the work cycles to put it in the game, or is it just like some of these developers and the writers don't have the intellectual ability to know that we would need these sort of details to really make judgments?
I think it's probably more along the lines of them having like a bias and an agenda, but then in addition to that, like they're also considering that most people just, I mean, again, I mean, you're a pretty smart guy, and I think you think about a lot of things that a lot of other people don't. I just don't think most people really are this critical of the content that they consume.
No, they're certainly not.
Right, until you start to kind of jog them a little bit with some, you know, you point out some things, and then once they start to notice a pattern, then they all start to notice it. So it's just, but you know, for now, I think most people, you know, just kind of don't think about it.
Yeah. I just wish there were better games. I wish we had, we really need some games that present some morally sound ideas, you know, some civilizationally healthy ideas. And we need those games to just be plain fun. You know, if we had that, you know, and you know, everything. We need movies like that, books like that. But, all right. Yeah. Well, I think we should wrap it up here.
Yeah.
For any of you who are free tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, The Outer Worlds on Krogan Stream. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Peace.
See ya.